And good morning to you again, RadioNext.tv, all community, all the time. Jumbo Love is live, President and CEO of RadioNext.tv. And today we're going to be explaining why, what, and how we're going to make the Hoosier Fall Prevention a household name in the city of Indianapolis. And today I am so blessed as I introduce all of the steering committee members and some of the partners that we have at the University of Indianapolis and the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition. And today I am honored to have Anna Forster, Communication Analyst for AARP. How are you, my friend?
I am great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're introducing the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition. People don't know, the National Coalition on Aging has awarded 12 grants throughout the United States, and Indiana is one of those states. And we have come together, a steering committee has come together so we can push this information, awareness, and resources out about this great initiative. Anna, before we start talking about the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition, please just give me a little background on you, where you grew up, schools, hobbies, anything that you think that the public would like to know about Anna.
Sure. Thanks for having me again. So I grew up in Columbus, Indiana, about an hour south of Indianapolis. And then I went to Purdue University to get my bachelor's in nursing. And I ended up staying there also for my master's and for a PhD in nursing. So that is my background. I'm a nurse scientist by training. I used to be involved in a lot of research with physical activity behavior, which is how my journey with older adults and gerontology started. And then I got involved with a little bit of policy and legislative advocacy. And that is how I got connected with AARP Indiana. So that's a little bit about my path. The fun side, I do a lot of crocheting and recently took up running as a hobby. So that's a little bit about me in my personal life.
Now, are you married, children?
I am not married. I have a longtime boyfriend, and then we have a cat and a corn snake.
So you have children.
Yes, I guess you could say that.
And while we're talking, I told you I like to keep things light, and I'm also just sad about Purdue, man. They made a
Oh,
great
I
run.
know.
Oh my God, they made such a great run. I was sitting up here praying for them the other day, and then they just had another a tough team to play
They
against.
did.
So
It was a
yeah.
tough game.
Now tell the people who don't know, because I know we see the logo and hear the name AARP. Please talk about some of the services that you are providing to our senior community.
Yeah, so a lot of our work is centered on the 50 plus community to help them live successful lives as they age. We do have a lot of different programs. It's a national organization, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. I'm involved specifically with the Falls Coalition with my background in nursing and physical activity. And then also as the communications analyst for AARP Indiana, I do help a lot with their social media program and digital outreach. So that is my role with them. But we are a organization that does a lot of different types of programs. So if you're looking for healthcare information, if you're looking for legislative advocacy, we have some other programs with tax aid and driver safety. So there are a lot of different facets of our organization that help older Hoosiers specifically, but also just older adults throughout the country, no matter what they're looking for.
You know, you've covered a lot, and AARP, as I mentioned, provides information services and resources to our senior community. And the one thing that I know about our senior community that most people don't understand, Anna, is that we will have more seniors on this planet over 65 than at any other
Yes.
time in the history of the world. I mean, so we really need to shore up and have more advocacy and more resources and information for this growing population.
It's
Uh,
true.
Now, the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition, uh, people don't know that 1 out of 4 people over 65 are falling every day. They do not know about stepping on programs that the University of Indianapolis and ARP are helping to support to prevent seniors from falling. Please tell me why you think it's so important and how did you become a part of this?
So originally, AARP Indiana was approached to give support when the coalition was going into their grant application. And so we were providing a letter of support to them. And then once they received their grant, we came on board as additional support for the steering committee, specifically me like I mentioned, with my medical background and my communications background in this position, we thought that would be a really good fit and a good way for us to support and be able to spread the word, spread the message. We have quite a large network in Indiana and a lot of different organizations and partners that we work with. So it seemed like a good fit for that.
And the reason that we're doing these interviews now is to bring more attention and awareness to the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition, because we need as many advocates as
Yes.
possible to go spread this word, because everybody listening, I guarantee you know somebody who has fallen.
Yes.
Do you have a real life fall experience in your family or people that you might know?
Well, actually, when I was reading that question, I thought, oh no, I don't really have a personal experience. And then I actually have one for myself. Um, just recently, last fall, I fell in a manhole cover in front of my house.
Wow.
It had a loose cover on the top, and I stepped wrong on it, and I fell into that. And I consider myself a fairly healthy, fit individual, and the recovery for that was actually a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I had to go to physical therapy for a little while to help with that. So it's important for people of all ages to be aware of fall prevention.
I was just going to mention that you're nowhere near this age
I am not.
of the fallers, the chosen fallers. I had experienced in my kitchen one day, and that is when I first started to understand. And I used to be very athletic, very agile, and
Mm-hmm.
I started to creep into my senior years. Just different things started happening. My mind was still sharp, but my body wasn't catching up with the mind. We have some techniques and ways that we can prevent falling. One of them is being many times when you wake up in the morning or whatever, is to sit there and gather yourself first.
Yes.
Because the blood it does not flow like it used to. So your legs might not even be getting any blood as yet. And I have learned so much about how we can prevent falling as well. And that's what we're trying to do with the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition. Tell me some of the things that you've learned, number one, about seniors and their stubbornness to learn more about falling, because it's mostly pride when we don't want to go and find out what this is. Tell me some of your experiences that you have learned since you have been in this coalition.
Some of the things I've learned, we have a great steering committee with individuals from many different backgrounds. So I really learned about some of the other programs that are available in the state. I have been involved with some of them, and based on my background, I thought I was aware of a lot of them, but there are so many more programs out there that I didn't know about. And so I think the work that the Fall Prevention Coalition is doing is partially just to get those programs out there. It doesn't matter where you live. There are virtual options, there are in-person options. No matter where you are in your life stage, there is a program out there that can help you. And so I think that is something that I've really honed in on, and I'm hoping that a little plug for the survey that we're going to be doing, hopefully from the data that we collect from that and get more information about these different programs, we'll be able to spread that through the Fall Prevention Coalition.
And if anyone is out here listening and want to be a part of the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition, on the ticker tape right there, we have the email address and the sites where you can go and link up. And our dear friend Becky Fee at the University of Indianapolis would be more than happy to get you enrolled. And this is a free of charge service. All that we ask for is about 2 hours a month to bring someone, yourself, or a comrade of yours into our meeting, and then find out the initiatives that we are doing to try to make sure that the public is aware of the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition. That is all it is, people. As the communication analyst for AARP, do you think that we can empower this community with this initiative? And what kind of ways do you think that we could make it more appetizing for the public?
Yes, I think we definitely can. And like you said, we invite people of all backgrounds, all career paths, even just older adults with falling experience to join the coalition. And so my role as a communications analyst is to help a lot with the social media promotion of what we're doing. So even if you don't want to be a part of the coalition, we are getting our LinkedIn and our Facebook page up and running. So when those are live, we would love if people could follow those, share the posts that we are making, because your network is probably filled with people we don't know. And so getting that word out there to others is super important. So hopefully, if at minimum, you can help us in our social media journey.
And we're using all of the media platforms, social media, internet, radio, print media. We're trying to do everything that we can to reach all the different demographics. And that's
Yes.
what's interesting. As a communication analyst and me as a guy who's into marketing and radio, the last 15 years have been so eye-opening for me because there wasn't even a name podcast when I started doing
Right.
you know, we didn't know about Zoom. And so now we have so many ways that we reach the public, and there are so many people getting their information in diverse ways. What are a few ways that you think, as we continue to do this, that we can reach all of those media platforms, but also concentrate an audience to get them to be more active about this initiative?
Definitely. So I would say we kind of touched on it already, but making sure you share that information that we're putting out there, but also making sure, even if it's just by word of mouth, speaking to those individuals that may not be on any of those platforms. Because like you said, this is a new age, a new digital era. Not everyone is online, not everyone is on social media. So connecting with your neighbors, your family members, letting them know about this. And I think something we as the coalition can work on is making sure that we have consistent messaging, that we are keeping our name out there, that we are driving people to our website, to our socials, letting them know where we're going to show up in the community. I know we plan to be at a lot of the health fairs and other in-person events throughout the year. And so making sure we get that word out there. If you want to come talk to one of us or talk to a member of the committee, you can do that.
And as we close, I know you're not the marketing person at AARP, but membership is important in all of these initiatives. Tell them, if they wanted to find out how to be a member of AARP, a website that they might want to go to, and just how simple it is to be a member of AARP as well.
Yeah, so you can go to aarp.org/IN, which will take you to the Indiana page. And there are links there to if you want to be a volunteer, if you want to become a paid member. Like I mentioned, we have all of these wonderful programs. I'll do a little plug for a specific one called our Home Fit program. And that is where we help you make your home more safe as you are aging. So things like grab bars, how to check your house to see if it's safe, if you have loose rugs, bad lighting, any of those things. That's one of the big programs we promote here in Indiana, which is directly related to fall prevention.
I was just thinking that there. I said, this is the Hoosier Fall Prevention right here.
Yeah. So those resources are available for free online, but you can find all of those at aarp.org.
And Forster, thank you so much for contributing. We are trying to really build a solid message about the Hoosier Fall Prevention Coalition and all the great ways that we know we can prevent falling. And if we can take it to from 1 out of 4 over 65 to 1 out of 10, we're doing something. And we can do it. We can do it if we really put our efforts into it. So thank you and AARP for being part of this great steering committee to make sure that we can get our information out there.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.